The only way to truly improve your life and change for the better is to focus on your personal and professional development. You may ask, but what does professional and personal development entail? Here are a few things you can do to get started. Number 1, set SMART goals. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. You must make goals that are specific. That means that you need to be clear on who you are and what you do. Measurable. You must be able to determine when you've achieved your goals. They have to be achievable, so no pie in the sky kind of stuff. All your goals need to be in reality. They need to be relevant to what you're trying to accomplish, and you need to put a day and time on them. They have to be time bound. Number 2, you build your self-confidence by embracing your strengths. And if you don't know what your strengths are, try taking several of my personality assessments I offer and compare the similarities to find out. Challenge those negative thoughts by seeing your hardships as opportunities to learn what to do better next time and take action, because time is one of those things you cannot get more of. Finally, number 3, reflect on your emotions and cultivate self-awareness, as they are signals that something needs your attention. Identify and know your triggers so that you're not caught off guard. And lastly, practice mindfulness by doing deep nostril breathing and being present in the moment. Yoga and meditation practices and putting away gadgets can help with this too. My name is Michelle Dornor, founder, CEO of Dornor Consulting. I help individuals, businesses, and teams build a strong brand while gaining confidence and real solutions in under 6 months or less without wasting time and money. Book your free discovery call today on my website to learn how I can help you or your organization at dornorconsulting.com. Have an amazing day.
Welcome to Pearls of Wisdom and Power. Choose transformation room. If you're tired of status quo, you're looking for higher vibrations, this is the place for you. Experience like no other. We'll seek the truth together. Ready to apply the knowledge to turn it into your own pearls of wisdom and power. You know who you are. Dedication, motivation will get you far. Find the confidence within yourself with a little help of pearls of wisdom and power. Choose the transformation route. Have the courage to change and find the true path. I'll help you there. Pearls of wisdom and power. Choose the transformation route. Pearls of wisdom and power. Pearls of wisdom and power.
Hey, everybody, it's me. It's Michelle Dornor of Dornor Consulting with my uh, weekly podcast that will be back full time in June. I've been really, really busy, y'all, so I apologize for my absence, but I should be back full time in June as I finish up some stuff that I'm doing. So welcome, welcome, welcome. This is a pop-up room. When I come back in June, I will be back on Tuesdays. I'm going back to my Tuesday transformation room, right? Because I was born on a Tuesday. I was born in that Mars energy. And I've been learning about my Venus star, right? And my Venus star is a morning star. That's the warrior, right? So I have all this warrior energy in me, and I motivate people, I spark people, I inspire people, just like that Aries sign, just like the Mars planet, right? So I'm going back to my Tuesdays because I operate in that high level. Let's go, let's get it energy to get y'all motivated to make the rest of your life the best of your life. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Michelle Dornor, and I am the founder and CEO of Dornor Consulting, a consulting and coaching company for individuals, teams, and executives. You can check out what I do on my website right there on the screen, doornorconsulting.com. Hey, China Lee, I see you in the building. I see you in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And so, for those of you that are listening now, or maybe you'll be listening on the replay, I have a very powerful message to deliver y'all. And I was supposed to start this at 11:35, right? And there was all kinds of stuff going on, and I was like, I gotta get to my show. But when I looked up the planetary hour, the time that I wanted to start it at, it was the sun, right? It was ego. But I'm not here to talk to you about your ego. Well, really I am, but it's Venus hour right now. And Venus is all about your likes, your dislikes, and your preferences. And so I'm about to get into it. So can y'all do me a favor, whether you're listening now or you're listening to the replay? Can you share out this room? Can you share it on your social media? Let everybody know that Michelle is in the building, about to give out some inspiration, some motivation, and I'm about to give y'all the real deal so that you can know how to navigate this thing that we call life. So can y'all share it out? And then for those of you, whether you listening now or listening on the replay, let me know that you here and where you listening from. And I love to know who my audience is, if you're not too shy, that is. But otherwise, you're welcome to stay and listen. I won't be here for very long, so tell them to get in here. Michelle is on, right? So I came today to talk to y'all about a very powerful topic. I was inspired by, I like to listen to Robert Greene. He wrote the books. Yes, China Lee from the UK. Welcome, welcome. The UK is in the building. And so I like to listen to Robert Greene. And Robert Greene wrote the book, The Art of Seduction, right? And I have that book. And he wrote some other books, the 50th Law with 50 Cent, and the 48 Laws of Power, right? I have all of Robert Greene's books, and I have read them, and I really like, because he goes into things that people don't want to recognize. He talks about our nature, right? That sometimes we don't want to admit that we have those natures inside of us, but it's actually the awareness and the acceptance that allows you to win in life. Is when you put on the blinders and you don't want to know the truth, right? It's just like yesterday I saw something by Ray Dalio, another person that I like to listen to, right? And Ray Dalio was talking about the principle of not being afraid of the truth. You know, sometimes we ignore or pretend like we don't see, or we don't want to learn, or we don't want to hear, because once you know, then it's like, oh, I'm afraid. What is going to be the answer? If I go find an answer, will I like what I found? Well, it's better to know than to not know, right? There's a lot of people that say ignorance is bliss, but it's actually not. And so today, I'm going to talk about, because I was inspired, right? And there was a post I was reading, and people were saying, when it comes to being seduced, that that if you're a good person with high morals and standards, that stuff doesn't work on you. And that is an outright lie. So I'm going to break it down so that way we don't fall into that trap of thinking that just because you're a good person, that bad things cannot happen to you and that you cannot get caught up, right? Because those are the people that get caught up the most. Let me repeat that one more again for those in the back who didn't hear me. It is the people that they know that they have high morals and high standards, and they're this good person and loving and kind and all of the sweetness, right? Those are the ones that fall the hardest, y'all. And so I'm about to get into this personal development and the art of seduction, right? So what happened, first of all, is I just did another thing this week. I let go of some connections to some people who I knew long time ago vibrationally. I knew vibrationally that those people did not have my best interests at heart. And while they were calling me friend and mama and sister, right? My guru, my teacher, oh, they were giving me all the labels, right? Family, you my fam. I feel like you family, right? All of those things, those people did not have my best interests at heart. And one of the things that let me know that they are really not my sister, my fam, my friend, I'm not really their teacher and their guru, is because when I actually need some assistance, they don't respond. That's your number one clue that people don't have your best interests at heart. Because the people that have your best interests at heart, they're going to respond. And even if they cannot help you, they're going to let you know, I can't help you with that at this time, but I'm here for you, rooting for you, wishing you all the best. I sent out something to these people calling me fam, and you my sister, and you're this and you're that. And I sent something out this week saying I need some help. And guess who responded? Not the people calling me fam, not the people calling me sister, not the people saying that I'm their guru and their teacher. The people that responded were people that I just met, people that I don't even know, right? Where's my family? Where are my friends? Where am I? So see, this is something that we have to recognize about people, personal development, and the art of seduction. So I let go of a lot of those connections, and I cleaned up my social media some more, deleting some people that in the past disrespected me on the slide, right? This is not even outright disrespect. This is slick stuff, right? And I just have a question for y'all. How many of you choose to ignore and let stuff slide because you are a good and loving person? How many of y'all, don't put the answer in chat. I don't want you to embarrass yourself, right? How many of you put up with bad behavior? How many of you let people continue to have a seat at your table when they showed you disrespect and disloyalty? How many of you continue to have to help people who do not have their skin in the game and never invest or reciprocate? See, what we have to realize about personal development and the art of seduction is that the most innocent of organizations hide under cover the most heinous of acts. I want to let that sink in and marinate, because we think of these good to do and goody two shoe organization that they can never do wrong, that there can never be dirt, that, oh, they wouldn't do that. Yes, and China Lee said, no, you can't ignore it because always comes crashing down. Yeah, you cannot ignore this stuff. You can't do it, right? And so the most innocent of organizations hide under cover the most heinous of acts. The most seemingly innocent of people, that innocent person looks so sweet, right? They have secrets that will rock your world. And they try so hard to not be like the oppressor, right? This is why we have something called scandal, right? Because why is it a scandal? Because we can't even believe that that organization would do that. I thought they were a good organization. We can't even believe that that person would do that. They were so handsome or good looking. How could they do that? We cannot believe that that innocent person, that nice, lovely person could do such a thing. And it's called a scandal because we don't understand human nature, right? We can't perceive that that person or that organization would do such a thing. We can't wrap our brain around the level of evil that exists in people. Listen to what I said. And we are people. We not talking about people. Look, the finger, when you point finger out, all them other fingers, what they doing? They pointing back at you. You got three pointing back at you, right? So we not talking about somebody else. Don't get in your mind right now and say, yeah, so-and-so needs to hear this message. No, you need to hear this message, right? Because you are attracted to it and you are here. This is for you, right? So we cannot wrap our brain around the level of evil that exists in people when they are in survival mode, the animal brain, when they're in need of love and belonging, the mammalian brain, and even people using their higher mind, that they don't escape the capacity to be evil, right? That's where we become too high-minded in the executive function, the executive brain, when we ignore the animal and we ignore the mammalian instinct and the feeling from the mammalian when it's actually needed. We need all three brains. You know, sometimes in some circles, they'll say, oh, get rid of your emotions, get rid of your feelings, get rid of that instinct and your intuition, and we don't need that. And no, we need it all. Right? We need the executive function, we need the instinct, we need the emotion and feeling, and we need to put it all together. We need holistic solutions in this day and age. We need to stop being polarized and choosing this side or choosing that side, because that never solves anything, right? And that is why we keep going in circles, because our solutions are not holistic, because we're always leaving out something. We grab the physical and we forget about the spiritual. We grab the spiritual and we forget about the physical. No, spirit and matter, they need to get married, right? That's the sign of Gemini in the zodiac. You know, it's two opposite poles, but as long as they stay opposite, nothing can transpire, nothing can change, and nothing can transform. It's only when we marry the two opposites, right? It's only when we stop being polarized and understand that we need both, right? It's not an either or, we need both, right? And so when we realize that, then we can actually get to a holistic solution and get the answers that we've been seeking, right? So it's this failure to see, this lack of awareness and acceptance that we need it all at the appropriate times, right? So that is where we falter, y'all. The person of the high road has to recognize that we all have an animal and mammalian nature that caters to our subconscious likes, loves, strong urges, and desires, right? So don't get me wrong now, because somebody will go, oh, is she telling us to be evil, right? I'm not saying be a bad person. By all means, you should be a person that takes the high road. You should be a person that displays your power and divinity by doing what's right and by considering others, right? So what I am saying is that that person with the high morals, with the standards, are the ones who usually fall the hardest for the lies, tricks, manipulations, and seductions. We have to understand that. Somebody go, what are you talking about, Michelle? Look, I know what I'm talking about because I was that person. Hand raised, because I'm loving. Look, y'all, my personality, I'm very warm. I like when I meet people, I'm open. I'll speak to anybody. I don't have to know you to embrace you, right? I don't have to see what you can offer me before I will have a conversation with you. I'm just one of those very open people. But I was so open in the past to the point that when people saw, oh, she real open. She's open. Let me say this. I was open and unaware. And that is dangerous. It is dangerous to be an open, nice, kind, sweet, pure, loving, understanding, forgiving, accommodating, right? Connecting person, and you are not aware and accepting that evil exists and that it also exists in you. I was unaware. And because I was unaware, I kept getting taken advantage of over and over and over and over again. And then I would cry and say, this isn't fair. Life is not fair. I'm a good person. And I don't understand why this keeps happening to me. Because I was not willing to be self-aware of the evils that exist in the world and that those same evils exist in me. That I have the capacity when I'm operating in my lower nature, when I have not personally developed my inner being, that I have the same capabilities of the evil that exists in the world. And when you become aware of that, that is when your life changes. That is when you start to view things very differently from a circumspect mindset, right? Let me say this. Somebody will go, oh, what are you talking about, Michelle? Look, this is why we love movies. Do y'all know that movie magic is made of this stuff? Movie magic is made, the way they make movies, is it's always that person that you never think anything would happen to. That's the one it happens to. And we all get caught up and go, oh my God, I can't believe that happened to them. And then they got to go through all this stuff. And that's what makes the movie so exciting, is because this innocent person, this pure, a naive person, this good person has something come slap them upside the head. Every movie that we enjoy, that we stand up and clap at the end, oh, that was a great movie. You know why it was so great? Because there was scandal. There was something unbelievable that happened, and the person had to learn. They had to learn from it. And at the end, if they learn their lesson, they're triumphant. And we stand up and we clap and we talk about how great that movie was. See? The pure in heart has to be careful, because all that naivete and innocence becomes a stumbling block. Because it's not about resisting other people. It's about resisting yourself. The enemy is the inner me. Did y'all hear what I said? The enemy is the inner me, right? True salvation from the evils of this world and the evil that people do is knowing who you are on the inside and understanding out of a deep level your capacity for both good and evil depending on the circumstances. To not be tricked, you have to realize and see that evil exists and know that you have that same evil desire and capabilities. I said capabilities, if you act on it, lurking in you. Did you know that no one can tempt you? Did you know that no one can manipulate you? Yes, nobody can manipulate you. Oh, that person manipulated me. That person tricked me. That person lied to me. Did you know that nobody can lie to you? Did you know that nobody can seduce you? Because see, even the Christian scripture, the Bible, says that you are only tempted This is in the book of James, right? I used to be a minister. That's why I know scripture so much. Even the Bible says you are tempted when you are caught up by your own desires. We all can be seduced when it comes to something that we like or love. It's very easy. If you like or love something, it's hard to say no to you. It's already hard to say no to other people. So if you have difficulty telling another person no, imagine how difficult it is to tell yourself no. Imagine. It's difficult to tell someone else, that even a stranger, it's difficult for you to say no to a stranger, somebody that you don't even have an intimate connection with. You go, yeah, let me go. All right, it's all right. I'll grab that for you. Or, yeah, let me help you. I'll open a door for you. All of those little niceties that we do for people we don't even know. So if it's hard for you to say no to somebody that you're not even intimately connected with, imagine how difficult it is for you to say no to yourself when it comes to something you like or like or love, right? And imagine that you have a hard time denying yourself what you enjoy, right? Your likes, your loves, your strong urges, your desires, they are hardwired into you. They are subconscious. Sub means under. That means they are under your level of awareness. They are under your consciousness. You cannot see them, right? We are all unconsciously incompetent about our preferences, likes, loves, and biases. And this is why everything kept happening that I couldn't even start the show, because it's like something wanted me to talk at the Venus hour, because Venus is all about your likes and dislikes and your preferences. And the only way to overcome this is, I talked about this a long time ago, like a year ago on my show, is that when it comes to your preferences, likes, and dislikes, you got to take your Venus to Virgo. And for those that are aware of astrology or study astrology, right, which I love to do because it helped me greatly with my personal development, right? So Venus, when it goes into Virgo, it doesn't like it there. It fails. And do you know why Venus fails in Virgo? Because Virgo puts a magnifying glass on everything. Virgo is going to analyze every detail. Virgo is going to do its due diligence, right? Virgo is going to check into things. So when it comes to your personal development in the art of seduction, first of all, you have to be very self-aware of yourself. See, Virgo is very self-aware and very critical of itself. Before Virgo criticizes anybody else, Virgo is very critical of itself. And that is why Virgo is critical of others, because we only give out what we have, right? If you squeeze a sponge, the only thing that's going to come out of that sponge is what's inside of it. So we all have things in us that if we are squeezed, it will come out. That's our true nature, right? And so when it comes to Virgo energy and someone that carries that type of energy, they are always critical and hard on themselves. And that is why they are able to be critical and hard of others, right? So when you take that Venus, your likes, your dislikes, your pleasures, your comfort, your security, when you take that to Virgo don't care about all of that. Virgo is going to look deeply into this and analyze it and criticize it and look at this side and that side and get to the nitty gritty and the details of the thing. And that's what you need to do about you first before you try to do that about anyone else, right? Because we are unconsciously incompetent about our own likes, loves, pleasures, preferences, and even biases, right? We easily make sacrifices to our morals and our standards when there is something that we want. We think, oh, I would never do that. Or I'm always an honest person, or I'm always a good person, or I'm this or I'm that. And we say all of these lovely things about ourselves, but we don't want to recognize our capacity and our ability to change when we are in need, when we are in survival mode, and when we want to belong and need love. Oh, things change very quickly, right? I'm watching a person right now, someone that I treasured them for their honesty and their integrity, right? And now they flipped the script. I actually caught them not having integrity, right? And why is that? Is because I realized that that person, now they're in survival mode. There's something that they need to get done. And so because they're desperate to get that thing done, because it's important to them, they cut corners a little bit, right? And I was like, how did that person cut corners? How dare they? What a scandal. Y'all see what I meant earlier when I was talking about scandal, right? And so because I'm watching this person go against what I thought was their character, right? And at first I got upset and I'm like, that person ain't no good. And then I said, no, no, no. It's not that that person's no good. It's that that person has with them. We always excuse me, y'all. Listen to me. We all have the capacity to operate in our lower nature because our lower nature is always with us. You are never going to get rid of your lower nature. Somebody, I could get rid of my lower nature. No, you cannot. Life is always lived at the crossroads. You are always going to be presented, no matter how high or you actualize, I can't even talk, self-actualization, right? No matter how much of that you do, no matter how high you go in your mind and in your life and in, and in your character, how much you develop personally, professionally, right? We all have to live this life at the crossroads. And so because we all have to live life at the crossroads, depending on your level, you're going to get presented with a challenge that fits the level that you are at. You don't get rid of challenges. You're not going to get rid of your lower nature. You always going to have to make a choice, because that's what makes us individuals, is because we have the power of choice. That's what makes us human. We have the power of choice. And so you always have the capacity with you to either do good or do evil. And it's up to you to choose. We all have that capacity. And awareness of it and acceptance of that is the first step to not being seduced. Understanding that you, not that person out there, understanding that you have that capacity when you are put in a certain situation or circumstance. So now I can look at that person and go, okay, obviously there's something that that person wants and they feel like this is the way to get it, and they compromise their character, right? And guess what? I had that same capacity. So when I turned it to me and said, ooh, what would I do if it came down to something that I like or don't like? I realized lots of things that I did. I went against my intuition plenty of times because there was something I liked and I loved and I wanted. And I ignored all caution and all red flags. And I was like, go, 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 green light on something that I should have said no to. Because it's hard to say no to yourself. It's hard to detect what's in that subconscious, right? You have to really know yourself very well. And so personal development helps you overcome that art of seduction that comes from people that try to manipulate, lie, trick, and deceive you. Because the truth is that no one can trick you, no one can lie to you, no one can deceive you. No one can do these things to you. These things happen because you are drawn away with your own desires. And you didn't take those desires and you didn't analyze your own desires. You didn't analyze your own weaknesses and your strengths. You don't know you. And so because you don't know you and the enemy knows you, you get overtaken. They understand human nature more than you do. Because as a good and innocent person, you don't want to recognize that evil exists in the world and that people have their lower nature that they tap into when they are in survival mode. They tap into that mammalian brain when they want love and affection and belonging, right? We tap into those lower natures when there's things that we want. We got to understand that, right? And so we easily make sacrifices to our morals and standards when there is something that we want, right? So if you are able and you are willing to say no to your own strong urges, feelings, desires, preferences, likes, loves, that's just half the battle. But in order to do that, you have to be willing to personally develop and get to know you inside and out. You have to take your Venus to your Virgo. You have to take all of the things you like and love, and you have to begin to analyze them and be critical of them and understand the what, when, where, why, and how of you in order for this not to take place in your life, in order for you to not land on a land bomb, a mine bomb, right? A mine land mine. Look at me, I'm getting my words mixed up, right? So see, bad things happen to good people all the time, unfortunately. And it's because of this. High morals never saved anyone from troubles in life. Let me repeat that again. Bad things happen to good people all of the time. How could that happen to Johnny? He's such a good person. How could that happen to Susie? She's such a good person. Look, y'all, high morals never saved anyone from troubles in life. It's the awareness and the acceptance of how things are and what you can personally and reasonably do about it that is your salvation. And it starts with personally developing you, knowing that the enemy is the enemy. And so I need to know myself better than I know anybody else. I need to study myself till I know myself from top to bottom. I know my likes and my dislikes. I understand those little urges I get and what it means and where I'm operating from. I understand what my temptations are and what I easily get seduced with, right? I understand human nature and that we all have the capacity for good and evil, that it always will exist with me. And just because I made it to a certain level doesn't mean that it disappears, because you still need your animal brain when there is danger so that your instincts kick in and you get out of the danger's way, right? Out of harm's way. You still gonna need that instinct and that animal brain that says get out of there, right? You don't want that to disappear. And you're gonna need your mammalian brain when it comes to your family and relationships and collaborations and networking and falling in love and having a partner. You're gonna need all of that loving and that care and that feeling and that emotion. We don't want to get rid of that. You're going to have to take all of those things and blend it with your higher mind, with your executive function that plans and strategizes and analyzes, and that's willing to look at the good and the bad of something. You don't always want to say, oh, well, that's good, I don't have to look into it further. No, look on the other side. That's what I learned when I was writing my papers in college. I learned critical thinking. Critical thinking is not just about being critical and seeing all the bad in something. Critical thinking says, okay, I see this good, but also let me look at the bad. And then it's also not looking at the bad of something, it's also seeing the good in it. Because it's very easy to pick a side We live in a very polarized world, and that is why we cannot get to a holistic solution, is because we are not willing to take all of the pieces and put the puzzle together. We always got a piece missing out of the puzzle. We always getting it halfway right, and we say, oh, it's good enough. No, there's something missing. Right? And we need to be able to ask ourselves that tough question of what's missing and why, so that we can get to an answer that's sustainable and long lasting. Right? And so personal development is that long lasting, sustainable, holistic answer to escaping the evils in this world. It is focusing on you and getting to know you very well. So this has been my opinion and my observations about personal development and the art of seduction. And I hope this has been valuable to you and helpful. And if it is, leave a comment. Let me know how this helped you and how it's valuable to you. And also, if you need assistance or you're looking for somebody that can lead you into your own personal development and help you to understand your strengths, weaknesses, threats, trends, and opportunities, right? Then please check out my website right there on the screen, dornorconsultant.com. I'm a holistic life, business, and executive coach, and I could definitely help get you crystal clear clarity so you could take the right actions and escape those things in life that we call evil. Right? Everything exists for a reason. You're not going to eradicate the evils in the world. You know, even during what they call the golden age, there were still people that were not fully conscious or aware. There were still things that happened that wasn't favorable. It wasn't like 100% nothing bad ever happened. It was great times, but there were still people that were what you call peasants. Everybody wasn't wealthy. Everybody had what they needed, though, right? And there was equity. But that doesn't mean that you're going to eradicate everything that's bad. That's always going to be with us, right? So we have to learn how to develop first ourselves before we could go out and try to develop the world. So if you need that assistance, I have programs, and you can pay up front and save 15%, or you can pay monthly, right? And so I have options. So check me out on my website, dornorconsultant.com, and check out my services that I offer to the public. And I want to thank you for listening. And I hope that you are encouraged and motivated after this to really understand you, so that you stop being tricked and manipulated and pointing fingers and saying they did this to me. It's time for us to pick up our mantles and responsibility, that the only person that you can really control in this life is yourself. My name is Michelle Dornor. I'm the founder and CEO of Dornor Consulting, a life and business coaching company. And I want to wish you all well. And until next time, when I'm full time back in June, it'll be Tuesdays at my regular time that I used to do on my other platform, Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, starting in June of 2024, this year, in June next month. You'll see me every single week at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I can't wait to get back to my regular schedule. This has just been a pop-up, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought about the message in the comments, and I look forward to seeing y'all soon. Have an amazing day. Bye, y'all.
Welcome to Pearls of Wisdom and Power. Choose transformation room. If you're tired of status quo, you're looking for higher vibrations, this is the place for you. Experience like no other. We'll seek the truth together. Ready to apply the knowledge to turn it into your own pearls of wisdom and power. You know who you are. Dedication, motivation will get you far. Find the confidence within yourself with a little help of pearls of wisdom and power. Choose the transformation route. Have the courage to change and find the true path. I'll help you there. Pearls of wisdom and power. Tuesday transformation room. Pearls of wisdom and power. Pearls of wisdom and power.